Chapter 11 Training Tiger Brother. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tiger Brother opened his eyes, which was a happy event, but it did not affect Cang Nian's self-discipline training. Ding. Crawling 10m, crawling skill proficiency +1. 51/100. Every time he accumulated a layer of skill proficiency, his body became stronger, which made Cang Nian feel that his efforts were not in vain. Woo. And the Tiger Brother who opened his eyes, perhaps because of the new way of perception, made him feel novel and interesting, so he did not sleep soundly like usual, and his little head followed Cang Nian and turned around. However, he did not mean to get up, he was always lazy, but he just thought it was fun for Cang Nian to crawl around, but if it were him, it would definitely be very tiring. He did not want to be tired, he just wanted to eat milk and sleep. At this time, hearing the meaningless humming from Tiger Brother's mouth, and seeing it looking at him with interest, Cang Nian became thoughtful. Tiger Brother can grow so fast, he must be special, otherwise he can't survive the bite of the fox. Before, he ate and slept every day, but now that he has opened his eyes, he can't be so lazy. I have to pull him to exercise together, otherwise he will suffer again when he encounters danger next time. This time, it was because the fox's bite force was not good and the fox was not in good condition that he was able to save his life. If it was a more ferocious beast, it would be more dangerous. I can't just exercise by myself. For a long time to come, my strength will not be enough to fight those adult beasts head-on, so the main way to deal with danger is to run away. If I run fast, Tiger Brother will suffer. I have to let Tiger Brother run fast too, so as to delay time until Tiger Mother rescues. Cang Nian thought about it in his mind, and the more he thought about it, the more he felt it was right. Although he was determined to protect Tiger Brother, at least before he grew to the size of a medium or large dog, there would be many animals in the wild environment that he could not deal with. Therefore, before this, the only way for him and Hoodie to deal with the crisis was to run away and call for help. Therefore, only by letting Hoodie run can we avoid repeating the same mistakes. Thinking of this, Cang Nian came to Hoodie step by step. "Ao!" Cang Nian subconsciously howled, trying to urge Hoodie to move, but the result was very reasonable. Hoodie didn't understand what Cang Nian was howling, and Cang Nian didn't know what he was expressing by howling. Seeing this, Cang Nian tilted his head and thought about it, and then came behind Hoodie. He squatted slightly, stretched out his front paws, and pushed Hoodie's. But, since language doesn't make sense, let's use body language. However, Hoodie's weight is really outrageous. He was only 8 days old and weighed an estimated 6 kilograms. For Cang Nian now, it was so heavy that he couldn't push it at all, but fortunately, Hoodie didn't feel comfortable being pushed by Cang Nian. His limbs trembled and supported his fat body, and he moved forward 2 steps. Seeing that this worked, Cang Nian pushed forward again, and Tiger Brother also cooperated and moved forward 2 more steps. However, after 2.5 minutes, Cang Nian was exhausted, and Tiger Brother only moved about 1 meter. This guy has a good temper. No matter how you deal with it, it will not be annoyed, but it is extremely lazy. If you don't push it, it will never move a step. But Cang Nian is not a character who gives up halfway, so he has to change his strategy, walk in front of Tiger Brother, and walk slowly step by step. He wants to set an example for Tiger Brother so that it knows how to walk. At least, crawl on your belly for a few times, right? However, Tiger Brother still just opened his eyes like copper bells and kept following Cang Nian, but he never lifted his butt. This made Cang Nian very angry. He wished that he could speak human language now, and Tiger Brother could understand human language, so that he could scold it. After taking 2 deep breaths, Cang Nian became more and more angry, so he simply raised his claws and blew it on Tiger Brother's big face. "Since you don't want to move, I'll irritate you and make you follow me." Snap! As he was still young, Cang Nian's claw didn't have much power, but because he swung it with all his strength, it was undoubtedly a head-on blow to the Tiger Brother who was also born just 8 days ago. What's more, he caught it with his face. Ding! Swing your claw once, and the skill proficiency of waving your claw +1. 1 out of 100, however, at this time, a system prompt sounded, which made Cang Nian stunned at first, and then suddenly ecstatic. Great! Finally unlocked an attack skill for me. Since he came here and obtained the system, the skills he has unlocked so far are all weird, except for the skill of crawling, the others are either drinking milk or pooping and peeing, and each one is more useless than the other. At least, it is very useless at this stage, and this swinging claw is an attack skill at first glance. The important thing is that the conditions for accumulating proficiency of this skill are relatively easy to achieve. It seems that you only need to swing your claw with all your strength to count as one level of proficiency. Then I should be able to fill up the progress bar of this initial skill soon. Although the power of the skill is definitely based on one's own physical fitness, Cang Nian believes that if he continues to hone this skill and brush up his proficiency, he will definitely not be underestimated in the future. Moreover, this also means that in his childhood, he can also have a certain counterattack ability, instead of just running away. Of course, Cang Nian will not be too arrogant after having an attack skill, and rush forward when encountering danger. Now I am still very weak, and I still run away first when encountering danger. If I really can't escape, try to attack the opponent again to delay time and let Tiger Mom come for help. But just when Cang Nian was happy, the tiger brother beside him cried sadly. It felt wronged. Why did Cang Nian hit it when it was playing with it and it cooperated so well? At this time, the tiger mother who was lying on the ground to rest came over and got behind the tiger brother's buttocks. The tiger mother thought that the tiger brother was going to defecate. However, the tiger brother turned his buttocks away, then looked at the tiger mother, whimpering and waving his claws, as if accusing Cang Nian of bullying him. Seeing this, Cang Nian suddenly felt guilty. Although his starting point was good, he wanted the tiger brother to exercise so that he would not be able to escape when he encountered a crisis next time. But his current behavior was indeed bullying the tiger brother. Thinking of this, Cang Nian shrank his neck, afraid that the tiger mother would be fair and teach him a lesson. However, after listening to the tiger brothers crying, the tiger mother didn't care at all. After confirming that the two little ones were not hungry or about to defecate, they swung their tails and elegantly went to the pool deep in the cave to drink water. After the crisis the two little ones encountered during the first hunt, Tiger Mom paid more attention to them. She watched them all the time, but what just happened was just a fight between brothers in Tiger Mom's eyes. This is a very normal thing, and Tiger Mom is happy to see it. It can not only deepen the relationship between the two brothers, but also allow them to hone their hunting skills unconsciously. Seeing this, Tiger Brother's crying and howling stopped abruptly, and he was stunned. After a little thought, Cang Nian understood Tiger Mom's prearranged strategy of raising children, so he came to Tiger Brother with a smile on his face. Hee, since Tiger Mom doesn't care, then she lets me train Tiger Brother at will. Looking at Cang Nian with an evil smile, Tiger Brother howled in fear. Chapter 12 Talented Monster. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding! Crawl 10M, crawling skill proficiency +1. 60/100. Ding. Swing claws once, waving claws skill proficiency +1. 15 out of 100. Listening to the system prompt sound in his mind and the aggrieved humming of Tiger Brother beside him, Cang Nian was in a very happy mood. On the 9th day of birth, Tiger Brother opened his eyes yesterday, and Cang Nian took it to practice. Other methods have little effect, but waving claws to beat tigers is still very effective. Taiwan Novel Network. The Tiger Brother is a weak character. Even if he is beaten, he dare not chase Cang Nian or fight back, but fortunately, such a beating makes it understand that it must do as Cang Nian requires, otherwise it will be beaten again. So, the claws and Cang Nian's tireless body movements finally made Tiger Brother understand that if he crawled behind Cang Nian's buttocks, he would not be beaten, otherwise he would be beaten. Therefore, Tiger Brother could only crawl behind Cang Nian's tail with grievances. What surprised Cang Nian was that Tiger Brother ate a lot and grew fast, and it was indeed not in vain. Before, he had not exercised at all, so Tiger Brother had difficulty crawling 2 steps, but after all, his physique was terrible. Being forced to exercise by Cang Nian's patting and scratching, he soon brought out his physical fitness. In just half a day, Cang Nian crawled on all fours in front, and Tiger Brother crawled on his belly behind. Cang Nian walked nearly 100 meters, and although Tiger Brother did not keep up with him all the way, he estimated that he had half the amount of exercise and crawled 50 meters. This is much better than Cang Nian's crawling skills before he evolved into crawling. I can only say that he has a weird talent and cannot be compared. However, Cang Nian, who has the system, is only slightly envious. I am born with deficiencies, but as long as I am self-disciplined and become stronger little by little, my future ceiling will definitely be higher than that of Tiger Brother. The tiger mother, who was resting in the cave, watching the interaction between the two little ones, was full of ant smiles. This is still its first litter. At the beginning, when Cang Nian and Tiger Brother were born, it felt very boring, especially since Mingming was the queen of the jungle, but now she can only stay in the cave in a daze to feed her cubs. However, now that the two little ones have opened their eyes, it is much more interesting. The interaction between the two brothers can relieve Tiger Mother's boredom. Moreover, what makes Tiger Mother a little confused is that Tiger Brother is obviously bigger in size. Why is he suppressed by Cang Nian, who is so much smaller in size? Among brothers, there will always be a stronger and more charismatic one who becomes the king of his own small group, and Tiger Mother remembers that when she was young, she was the king of a litter of tiger cubs. As a female tiger, it was stronger than its two brothers when it was young, and it suppressed the two brothers since childhood. However, the genetic disadvantage of female tigers still made the Tiger Mother unable to beat the two brothers when she was 6 months old, but the memory of being suppressed by the sister when they were young made the two brothers still very respectful of their sister. Unfortunately, the three tigers left their mother when they were subadults, each looking for a territory, and never met again. In order to reduce the probability of close reproduction, brothers and sisters will subconsciously disperse when they grow up and look for territory, and mate with the opposite sex of the same species farther away to breed healthy cubs. In addition, this is also to have enough food, otherwise several adult tigers gathered together, which would be invincible, but there would not be enough prey within the territory. Moreover, this would cause a devastating blow to large creatures in an area, leading to large-scale migration of large herbivores. Therefore, tigers of the same clan are evenly dispersed in the wild, which is an unwritten rule and tacit understanding among tigers. Recalling the happy times when they were young, the Tiger Mother was a little confused. Is my brain working better now? It remembered that its previous memories before adulthood were very fragmented and vague, and it was difficult to recall them. As a result, today, watching Cang Nian and Hu Di playing together, the scenes of their childhood seemed to be quite clear. Shaking her head, Tiger Mom pushed these confused thoughts out of her mind. Then, she looked outside the cave, although when she came back from hunting last time, she saw a fox rushing out of the den, and Hu Di was still groaning in fear and pain, which made Tiger Mom feel scared. But there was no way. In order to feed the two little ones, hunting could not be stopped. Otherwise, the mother and her 3 children would die together. Feeling the little nutrition in her body and the abundant physical strength, Tiger Mom came to the 2 little ones who were tired of playing and lay down on her side. Roar! Then, she roared softly. Hearing the sound, Cang Nian and Hu Di turned their heads to look at Tiger Mom. The Tiger Brother was stunned for a moment, then he twisted his butt and crawled to the Tiger Mother's soft belly to drink milk happily, and Cang Nian found that things were not simple. The Tiger Mother's strategy of raising babies is to let them go freely. If they don't cry, they are not hungry or don't want to poop. The Tiger Mother will never take the initiative to feed them. And there is only one possibility for it to take the initiative to feed them. It is preparing to go out hunting. Before going out, it feeds the 2 cubs and drains their feces and urine, so as not to let them be hungry and hold their urine if they don't come back for a while. Roar! Seeing that Cang Nian didn't come to drink milk, the Tiger Mother roared again, urging him. Hearing the sound, Cang Nian obediently went forward to drink milk, but in his heart he was thinking about the Tiger Mother's hunting. It's noon outside now, and although it's probably only June now, it's quite hot today. Tigers are nocturnal animals and like to hunt after dark, but the Tiger Mother chose this time. Obviously, this is not a lack of nutrition in the Tiger Mother's body, nor is it a lack of physical strength. These problems will not keep the Tiger Mother from waiting for 8 hours. The Tiger Mother learned a lesson from her last hunting trip when a fox stole her home, so she was ready to go hunting while the weather was hot and many predators were unwilling to move. In this case, the possibility of Cang Nian and Tiger Brother staying in the cave being in danger is greatly reduced. Thinking of this, Cang Nian felt warm in his heart. It can be said that the Tiger Mother went to great lengths to protect their safety, and even went against her own hunting habits and racial instincts. This is maternal love, without reason, asking for nothing in return, giving everything. If I had to give one reason, it would be that Cang Nian and brother tiger are the cubs of mother tiger. I must become stronger. Now the tiger mother protects me and hunts for me. In the future, I will protect the tiger mother so that she no longer has to hunt and has endless prey. Cang Nian thought determinedly. Soon, Cang Nian and tiger brother were full of milk, and tiger mother had to lick the butts of the two little ones to help them excrete. However, when it was Cang Nian's turn, he turned his butt away, because, an hour ago, after tiger mother assisted in excretion, he had already maxed out the proficiency in the two skills of defecation and peeing. Although the names of the two skills have not changed, after the qualitative change, he can already excrete on his own. In front of the tiger mother, the excretion was successful without assistance, and the tiger mother suddenly showed a surprised smile. Immediately, it no longer lingered and ran vigorously towards the outside of the cave. Chapter 13 Tiger Mom's Second Hunt. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's only been 4 days since we went out hunting for the first time. Could it be that my tiger brother and I eat too much, that when Tiger Mom went out hunting again, Cang Nian couldn't help but mutter in his heart, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. But after thinking about it, it seems to be true. My tiger brother and I were only born 9 days ago, but one weighed about 3 kilograms and the other weighed about 6 kilograms, which is far beyond the growth rate of ordinary tiger cubs, and growing up requires nutrition, so both myself and tiger brother eat an astonishing amount every day. As the two little ones grow bigger, their appetite increases day by day. No wonder Tiger Mom went out hunting for the second time in just over a week. Tiger Mom goes out hunting at noon, so there shouldn't be many animals that can come to the nest during this time, but I can't let my guard down. I'll stop exercising now and keep myself in good shape at any time to deal with possible dangers. Although I don't have much resistance, at least I can keep enough physical strength to run away when I encounter danger. Then, Cang Nian thought about it again and made preparations. So, he lay on the ground with his head facing the cave entrance, opened his eyes wide, and looked outside, and the tiger brother next to him, seeing that Cang Nian stopped crawling, also lay on the ground, glancing at Cang Nian from time to time to make sure that Cang Nian allowed it to rest, and then he felt relieved. It followed Cang Nian to exercise for a long time and was beaten a lot. Although it was not smart, it remembered the beatings after all, and now it has a little PTSD, hoo. After a while, Cang Nian heard a long and soothing snoring behind him. Turning his head, he saw that tiger brother had fallen asleep on the ground, drooling from the corners of his mouth, and occasionally opening and closing his mouth, as if he had dreamed of drinking milk. Seeing this, Cang Nian stood up, walked to tiger brother, and raised his right paw. Snap. Ding. Swing your paw once, and your skill proficiency in waving your paw +1. 16 out of 100. A full-strength swipe of the paw accompanied by a system prompt sound, ouch. Then, tiger brother, who was slapped with a paw, suddenly woke up from his sleep and looked around blankly. When it saw Cang Nian's familiar face, it suddenly shuddered, and hurriedly crawled on its belly. This was the stress response that Cang Nian had cultivated for it for half a day. It immediately began to be self-disciplined after being beaten. However, this was not what Cang Nian wanted now, so, Cang Nian raised his paw and stretched it towards tiger brother. Seeing Cang Nian raise his claws again, tiger brother shrank his head in fear and even closed his eyes, as if this would reduce the pain. However, the expected pain did not come. Cang Nian's claws did touch its body, but it was just a strong press, not a slap. Roar. Cang Nian roared, signaling tiger brother not to move, and didn't care whether tiger brother understood or not. Tiger brother, under the suppression of Cang Nian's power, stopped crawling, but still shrank his head and observed Cang Nian's expression, with obvious confusion on his face. For this different action from before, tiger brother, who was still young, didn't understand what it meant. Seeing tiger brother no longer moving around, Cang Nian was relieved. His meaning was very simple. Now, Tiger Mom went out hunting. Although she chose noon specifically, there were few predators running to the nest, but this does not mean it is necessarily safe. So, Cang Nian stopped exercising and reduced consumption, and in order to be alert to possible dangers, Cang Nian also had to ensure that he was awake. Similarly, tiger brother must be awake. Otherwise, if danger comes and tiger brother is still sleeping, even if you wake him up immediately, he will be confused for a while before he knows to run away, just like just now. Last time, he encountered a fox with low attack power, so Tiger Brother was able to rely on his thick skin and flesh to not suffer too much damage, leaving only a row of tooth marks on his neck. But next time, or today, if it is a more powerful predator, Tiger Brother's days may cost it its life. Therefore, even if he doesn't need to exercise now, he can't let Tiger Brother fall asleep. However, Tiger Brother can't understand Cang Nian's idea. Seeing that Cang Nian didn't let him continue to crawl and exercise, Tiger Brother breathed a sigh of relief, and his eyelids began to fight again after a while. Seeing this, Cang Nian raised his claws again and slapped Tiger Brother. Ah! Then, Tiger Brother woke up from his daze like the first time, and crawled instinctively after a moment of confusion, and Cang Nian, without getting tired of holding it down, made it stay where it was. After repeating this for 5 times, Tiger Brother finally understood what Cang Nian wanted it to do, so, Tiger Brother lay behind Cang Nian, opened his eyes obediently, and dared not move or close his eyes. Ding! Open eyes for 3 hours, skill proficiency of opening eyes +1. 15 out of 100. After repeating this over and over again, the system prompt sound came, which also meant that Tiger Mom had been away for 3 hours. Ouch! Just then, Cang Nian suddenly heard a sound of something passing through the bushes outside. Ding! Listen once, skill proficiency of listening +1. 1 out of 100. Then, another new skill was unlocked, but Cang Nian had no time to take care of it, but looked out of the cave with tension all over his body. Is it an enemy attacking? But after 2 seconds, Cang Nian saw 2 not very big hooves sticking out from the bushes outside the cave. Then, a familiar black, white and orange color came into view, and it was not blurred in Cang Nian's eyes, who already had a clear field of vision of 20 meters. It was the Tiger Mother. The Tiger Mother was holding a silly roe deer in her mouth and slowly returned to the den where Cang Nian and the Tiger Brother were. Ah! It was not until the Tiger Mother entered the cave that the Tiger Brother, who had just opened his eyes, saw the Tiger Mother's appearance clearly. He crawled happily and shouted happily, as if welcoming the Tiger Mother to return from a successful hunt. Cang Nian also stood up and came to the Tiger Mother, shouting, for the Tiger Mother who went out hunting in the scorching sun just to feed him. Cang Nian would not be stingy with his respect. Seeing that her cub was so excited, the Tiger Mother restrained her fierce momentum a little, and then put the silly roe deer she hunted on the ground. This silly roe deer is considered large, weighing about 40 kilograms. However, the net meat that can be eaten directly is estimated to be about 25 kilograms. After putting down the prey, the Tiger Mother did not rush to eat, but lay on her side to feed Cang Nian and Tiger Brother. Seeing this, Tiger Brother excitedly crawled to the front of the Tiger Mother's abdomen and happily drank milk. It only took the Tiger Mother 3 hours to go out hunting this time, but for the little tiger cub, when he was not sleeping, basically 3 hours was the time interval between 2 meals. Seeing Tiger Brother who was already eating a lot, Cang Nian also hurried over. He was a little hungry now. Chapter 14 Tiger Mom's Long-Term Vision. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Tiger Mom came back from hunting, she let Cang Nian and Tiger Brother drink enough milk, and then helped Tiger Brother finish excreting before she could eat without worry. Taiwan Novel Network. Since Tiger Mom will not go out in the next few days, Cang Nian will naturally take Tiger Brother to exercise. Tiger Mom's existence is the confidence of Cang Nian to exercise with confidence. Otherwise it would be extremely stupid to exhaust his physical strength in the wild, where dangers are lurking everywhere. But with Tiger Mom, there are no so many concerns. If he can pose a threat to himself under the protection of Tiger Mom, then no matter whether he has sufficient physical strength or not, he will not have any ability to resist. And Tiger Brother is not stupid. He has not forgotten one thing and has understood that Cang Nian beats him when Tiger Mom comes back to make him crawl and exercise, and beats him when Tiger Mom is not around to prevent him from sleeping. So, Cang Nian took Tiger Brother to exercise hard, regardless of consumption. In addition, he also began to study the new skill that had just been unlocked, listening. According to common sense, since I was born, except when I was sleeping, I have been listening to the outside world every moment. Why is it unlocked now? Cang Nian thought a little puzzled. Could it be that I need to deliberately listen to the sound in the distance to unlock it? And if I want to improve the proficiency of this skill, I also need to listen deliberately. Cang Nian thought about it and got some clues. Before, he was passive and listening to the outside world, and this time, because of the previous experience of Tiger Mom being robbed by a fox during her first hunting, she has been on guard against the outside world during this period. But in this case, there is no chance to verify it for a while, so Cang Nian is too lazy to continue wasting time. If the listening skill is improved, it is indeed a good skill to be used to alert external enemies. However, for the time being, improving one's ability to escape and counterattack in battle is more important to Cang Nian. On the other side of the cave, Tiger Mom was eating quickly. This is the first time Cang Nian has seen Tiger Mom eating. In fact, since Cang Nian crossed over, Tiger Mom has only eaten 3 times, including this time. The first time was to pull up the prey prepared before giving birth from the pool deep in the cave. However, that time, Cang Nian had not opened his eyes yet, but just heard the noise, so he made up his mind. The second time was Tiger Mom's first hunt. However, that time, Tiger Mom returned to the den after eating outside. Cang Nian could see her slightly bulging belly, and judged that Tiger Mom had successfully hunted and eaten. This time, it may be because she came back late after eating outside last time, and the smell of adult tigers in the cave became weaker, so that the hungry fox dared to come and attack Cang Nian and Tiger Brother. It is for this reason that Tiger Mom decided to come back as soon as possible for the next hunt. The place where Tiger Mom successfully hunted this time is estimated to be close to the den, and the prey is a small and medium-sized prey such as a silly roe deer. For an adult tiger like Tiger Mom, it is effortless to drag it. That's why the tiger mother eats in the den. Looking at the silly roe deer that was gutted by the tiger mother and smelling the strong smell of blood, Cang Nian was a little eager to move. This is the desire for fresh meat from the depths of the tiger's blood. However, he can't eat meat now. With his current weak digestive ability, he may not be able to digest raw meat. Moreover, he has just grown milk teeth, which is much faster than the ordinary tiger cubs who grow milk teeth in 2 weeks, but there is still a long way to go before he can eat meat. However, the skill of drinking milk has accumulated 10 levels of proficiency after the qualitative change. There are still 90 levels before the next qualitative change, which is expected to be about 10 days. Cang Nian estimates that the next qualitative change of this skill should be able to change from drinking milk to eating meat. By then, he will be less than a month old, which is much faster than the ordinary tiger cubs who can try to eat meat in 2 months. Compared with liquid tiger milk, the nutritional value of solid flesh and blood is definitely higher, and the growth rate will be faster. Swallowing his saliva, Cang Nian encouraged himself in his heart, and then crawled hard. The crawling skill is now almost accumulated to the 70th level, and it is not far from the next qualitative change. By then, his limbs will be stronger, and he will not stagger like now. The tiger mother on the side ate very quickly, allowing Cang Nian to experience up close what it means to eat voraciously. A nearly 40-kilogram silly roe deer was eaten to only the skeleton in just 2.5 minutes. The tiger mother was also very smart. After eating, she first went out of the cave and picked up a pile of hay outside, and then wiped the skeleton left by the silly roe deer's body and the blood dripping while eating. Then, the tiger mother wrapped the skeleton with hay and threw it out of the nest. It took a long time before Cang Nian saw the tiger mother come back. Apparently, the tiger mother threw the garbage far away. Finally, the tiger mother came to the pool in the den and soaked her paws in it, then returned to the place where she ate, wiped the paws carefully with water, and made sure there was no blood left, and then returned to the pool to wash her paws. This series of actions stunned Cang Nian. Is this to remove the source of the smell, and wait for the smell to dissipate, so that predators will not smell it and come here? That Cang Nian thought in amazement. In his previous life, he didn't know much about tigers, but he felt that tigers that could do something like Tiger Mom should be quite smart among their kind. Thinking of this, Cang Nian felt more relieved. With a mother like Tiger Mom who is good at hunting and careful and thoughtful, his growth should be much smoother. Ao. However, the tiger brother behind Cang Nian was howling in pain. It was lazy to begin with, but it was really uncomfortable to be dragged by Cang Nian to exercise. Seeing this, Cang Nian came behind the tiger brother and slapped it on its butt, urging it to work harder and not be lazy. Ding! Swing the claw once. The skill proficiency of waving the claw +1. 17/100. the system faithfully recorded Cang Nian's full-strength attack and converted it into the proficiency of the skill of waving the claw, AO. Now, the tiger brother howled even more miserably, but under the urging of Cang Nian, he could only crawl faster. On the side, the tiger mother, who was watching the interaction between the two brothers, showed a satisfied smile after eating and drinking. It now understood that Cang Nian was not playing with the tiger brother, but was training himself purposefully. Of course, it was very happy about this. It knew very well that the stronger it was, the more likely it was to survive in this jungle. For the male tiger, just surviving was not enough. Among wild Siberian tigers, most male tigers did not have the qualifications to mate with female tigers and leave their own bloodline. Only the tiger king of a region could win the mating rights of female tigers. Now the more the two cubs train themselves, the stronger they will be in the future. Even if they are separated, they will be tiger kings in different regions and leave their own bloodline. Cang Nian did not know that he was just a self-disciplined behavior for survival, but the tiger mother had already thought about such a long-term thing. Chapter 15. The progress bar is so long that it makes me dizzy. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Ding. Crawl 10m, crawling skill proficiency +1. 100/100. Ding. Congratulations to the host, the crawling skill proficiency has reached the maximum value, and the skill has evolved into jogging. On the 12th day of birth, a system prompt sound came from Cang Nian's mind, which made him excited. From crawling to now jogging, this is his first skill that has evolved twice. And as the crawling skill evolved into jogging, Cang Nian felt that his limbs had been significantly strengthened and became stronger and stronger. Taiwan Novel Network. Feeling the changes in his body, Cang Nian couldn't wait to try running, and immediately felt the difference from before. Before, he could only crawl slowly. If he was a little faster, his limbs would be difficult to stabilize his body and he would fall easily, but now, he can jog very agilely, and can almost stride a body length in 1 second. My current height is 30 centimeters without the tail. If calculated in this way, I can run 1 meter in 3 seconds, 20 meters in 1 minute, and more than 1 kilometer in 1 hour. Cang Nian calculated with joy on his face. However, he also knew that the actual situation could not be calculated in this way. Tigers are not creatures with strong endurance. His current maximum speed can reach more than 1 kilometer per hour, but it is impossible to maintain it for a long time. If you want to exercise for a long time, in hours, the speed must be slowed down to about 1/3 of the maximum speed. In this way, he can only run about 400 meters in an hour. However, this is already very good. According to the previous rules, the initial skill crawling, each crawling 1 meter is counted as 1 level of proficiency, and the first advanced skill crawling, each crawling 10 meters is counted as 1 level of proficiency. Then the second advanced skill jogging should be jogging 100 meters as 1 level of proficiency, right? In this way, the experience bar of this skill is 100 times 100, 10,000 meters. If I can run 400 meters in an hour, it will only take 20 hours to max out my proficiency. I don't need too many tasks a day. I can run 2,000 meters in 5 hours a day and I can get enough in 5 days. Moreover, as my proficiency increases, my speed will only get faster and faster. Maybe I can finish it in 3 or 4 days. Thinking of this, Cang Nian has already imagined a future where he can walk briskly. However, he is not just fantasizing. He is very executive. He did it as he thought. Cang Nian stretched his limbs again and jogged at a speed of 400 meters per hour. However, after running for a while, he found that the expected system prompt sound did not come. This made him panic for a moment, but thinking of his previous experience, he continued to run with gritted teeth. Ding. Jogging 1000 m, jogging skill proficiency +1. 1/100. Finally, after 2.5 hours, Cang Nian was already exhausted and panting, and a system prompt sound finally came. Ah. 1 level of proficiency requires running 1000 meters. Then the entire progress bar is 100,000 meters. How long will it take me to run? The belated system prompt sound surprised Cang Nian. If it weren't for the fact that this system would only respond after completing a certain amount of training, without any interactivity, Cang Nian would have already cursed. He felt that with his current physical fitness, even if the tiger mother supplied unlimited milk, he could only run about 3,000 meters a day. Tigers are not animals with strong endurance. Running 1,000 meters like this is a huge test for a cub like Cang Nian, and such training must be completed 100 times before the skill can be advanced again. That is to say, with his current physical fitness, this skill will consume him for a month. He has only been born for 12 days. Wait, such a long progress bar, does it mean that after I complete the training of jogging skills and advance, I can really run freely without any scruples? After complaining for a while, Cang Nian suddenly felt a flash of lightning in his mind, and speculated suspiciously. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that this was possible. He could jog now. As long as his limbs became stronger and stronger, he could run freely without any scruples. And in a month, he would be less than 1.5 months old. Generally, tiger cubs have to grow up to 3 or 4 months before they can run at full speed. By this calculation, his speed is not slow. Moreover, this is only the initial speed. When his jogging skill proficiency is improved, the speed will be even faster. Maybe he can complete the task of 100,000 meters in 20 days. No, the cave is still too small. I am almost dizzy from running around in circles. How about, go out and have a look? Determined to complete the accumulation of jogging skill proficiency as soon as possible, Cang Nian turned to have the urge to go out. The cave where the tiger mother feeds the cubs is not small. It is more than 10 meters deep and 4 or 5 meters wide, which is equivalent to the area of a normal one-bedroom apartment, but for Cang Nian, who now needs to run thousands of meters, it is a bit difficult to display. Moreover, he now weighs 4 or 5 kilograms. Apart from those large beasts, there should not be many animals that dare to attack him. However, you should master a certain attack ability before going out. But after thinking about it, out of caution, Cang Nian decided to wait until he was stronger before going out. And this does not need to wait too long. These days, he has been using the claw swing skill from time to time to actively accumulate the proficiency of this skill. Now, the proficiency of this skill has reached more than 90 levels. Thinking of this, Cang Nian turned his head and saw that Tiger Brother was lying on the ground and being lazy again, so, he slowly came behind Tiger Brother and slapped Tiger Brothers but with one claw. Ding! Claw swing once, claw swing skill proficiency +1. 93 out of 100. This made Tiger Brother wake up from his sleep, howling, and began to crawl like a conditioned reflex. That's right, on the 12th day after birth, Tiger Brother has mastered the ability to crawl, no longer crawling on his belly. Its innate conditions are indeed good. Its birth weight is much higher than Cang Nian's. In addition, it can eat a lot and can digest and absorb food, so its current weight is heading for 10 kilograms, and with a strong body, strength naturally increases, so Tiger Brother can crawl so early. This made Cang Nian quite frustrated. At this growth rate, it would be difficult for him to surpass Tiger Brother in size, unless, when the two brothers are both adults, Tiger Brother can no longer grow, and he may be able to surpass him with the feature of the system that has no upper limit. However, Tiger Brother is talented, which is also good news for Cang Nian. At least, during his growth, Tiger Brother can keep up with his growth rate and will not be left behind too easily. It's just that this guy is too lazy. If I don't watch him for a while, he will lie down and be lazy. But this is good news for Cang Nian. He just has a legitimate reason to beat Tiger Brother. Ao. Ding. Swing your claws once, and your skill proficiency of waving claws +1. 94/100, Tiger Brother let out a miserable howl again. Chapter 16 Getting into Trouble. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding. Swing the claw once, the skill proficiency of the waving claw skill +1. 100/100. Ding. Congratulations to the host, the skill proficiency of the waving claw skill has reached the maximum value, and this skill has evolved into claw attack. Ah! Cang Nian roared with high spirits. Ding. Scream once, the skill proficiency of the waving claw skill +1. 45 out of 100. Finally, the skill proficiency of the waving claw skill has been maxed out. As the system prompt sounded, Cang Nian felt that his claws, which were originally soft, became tougher and longer. Clang! Controlling the claws to pop out, Cang Nian could feel that now this was no longer a pure decoration, but a real claw that could bleed blood. Now, it should be much safer for him to go out and move around. At least if he encounters a small predator of the same size, he should be able to fight. Thinking of this, he walked towards the cave entrance, However, just as he arrived at the entrance of the cave, a huge figure rushed in front of him at lightning speed and held him down with one claw. Cang Nian was a little dizzy and dazed by this claw, but he was not injured. Looking up, the tiger mother looked at him with a serious expression, as if warning him not to run around. Obviously, the tiger mother was worried about her own safety and did not want a tiger cub who was just born 12 days ago to run out of the cave. This is too dangerous for such a small tiger cub. Regardless of whether Cang Nian was willing or not, the tiger mother opened her big mouth, gently held Cang Nian's neck, and walked towards the center of the cave, and Cang Nian, driven by physiological instinct, curled up his limbs, his tail was close to his knees, and he was carried away by the tiger mother obediently. After a few seconds, the tiger mother put Cang Nian down. However, how could this discourage Cang Nian from going out? The space in the cave was too small, and it was not enough for him now. But he would not do anything reckless. First, he seemed to give in and stood up and trotted around in the cave. When he ran to the edge of the cave, Tiger Mom slightly bent her body, as if she was ready to stand up and arrest Cang Nian at any time. But Cang Nian did not rush out of the cave, but circled back obediently, as if she had given up escaping the cave. But Tiger Mom was not completely relieved, and continued to watch him running in circles in the cave. Finally, when Cang Nian ran more than 20 laps, Tiger Mom felt relieved, thinking that he had understood her meaning and would not run around anymore. So she yawned with her mouth wide open and fell asleep on the ground. It was afternoon time, when cats were at their lowest spirits. And taking a nap at this time was the most comfortable. At this time, Cang Nian saw Tiger Mom was sleepy with his peripheral vision, and he was secretly happy in his heart, but he still did not act rashly. After jogging for more than 10 laps, when he saw that Tiger Mom's breathing became long and continuous, Cang Nian continued to run in circles without making a sound. But when he came to the entrance of the cave, he did not change direction, but rushed out straight. After rushing out of the cave, an indescribable sense of freedom emerged from the bottom of his heart. Outside the cave where the tiger family hid was a lush bush. There was no obvious road directly connected to the cave. There was only a passage squeezed out by Tiger Mom between the bushes. The ground outside was not the hard bluestone slab in the cave, nor was it wet or dry soil and dust, but thick fallen leaves, which felt like a soft carpet underfoot, quite elastic, and made a creaking sound. Above the bushes were lush and tall trees, with spots of light leaking through the gaps. The breeze blew through the branches and leaves, rustling, and brushed Cang Nian's hair, refreshing and comfortable. This is the real wilderness. Seeing this scene, Cang Nian exclaimed in his heart. No animals were seen for the time being, but the sound of insects could be heard in the bushes. Not being attracted by the scenery for too long, Cang Nian raised his paws and prepared to pass through the gap squeezed out by the tiger mother and explore further. But at this moment, he suddenly found that the light spots around him disappeared in an instant, and the completely obscured shadow outlined a familiar outline. Turning his head, he saw that the tiger mother came behind him at some point, and even on the ground covered with fallen leaves, she did not make any sound. This is the confidence of the tiger mother in hunting, Cang Nian exclaimed in his heart at an inappropriate time. Tiger hunting is nothing more than 3 steps. The first step is to find prey. This requires strong observation and enough patience, because almost all creatures in the jungle will cover themselves with a layer of camouflage. The second step is to get close to the prey. The tiger's endurance is not enough, and the burst speed can only be maintained for a maximum of half a minute. Although the burst speed can reach 20 meters per second, the actual running distance when hunting is only a few hundred meters. Therefore, this requires the tiger to have a sophisticated ability to lurk and quietly approach the prey. The closer to the prey, the greater the possibility of successful hunting. The third step is to chase and kill the prey, and the tiger mother came behind him without him noticing at all, which is undoubtedly a strong ability to lurk. However, when Cang Nian was praising the tiger mother in his heart, the tiger mother's face was not very good. Cang Nian is very self-disciplined and smart, and he almost doesn't need to worry about it, which saves him a lot of effort. However, the cub, who is obviously very well behaved, is now disobedient, which makes the tiger mother very headache. Just caught him back to the cave, but he slipped out while he was taking a nap. This time, I must teach my cub a lesson, so that he will remember not to run around anymore. Tiger Mom made up her mind. She stared at Cang Nian with a serious look for more than 10 seconds, then lowered her head and tried to pick him up. Seeing this, Cang Nian quickly turned over, lying on his back, exposing his belly and hiding his neck. He wanted to move around outside. He couldn't be caught by Tiger Mom again. Seeing Cang Nian's control, Tiger Mom refused to give in, lowered her head, and continued to try to pick Cang Nian up. Clang. There was no way. Cang Nian could only pop out his claws to resist Tiger Mom's attack. After waving his claws randomly, Cang Nian's little claws scratched the tip of Tiger Mom's nose. This made Tiger Mom slightly stunned, and then she raised her head slightly. After a while, Tiger Mom saw a drop of blood dripping onto Cang Nian's snow-white neck and spreading. It's over. Tiger Mom was scratched. This sudden change made Cang Nian feel guilty. He could see that there was a tiny scratch on Tiger Mom's slightly pink nose tip, and now a little blood was oozing out. Tiger Mom stretched out her tongue and licked the painful part of her nose tip, and a familiar bloody smell bloomed in her taste buds. Then, she lowered her head and looked at Cang Nian's eyes, shining. The little tiger cub, who was only more than 10 days old, grew claws that could scratch an adult tiger. My cub must be a genius. At this moment, Tiger Mom only had this one thought in her mind. Chapter 17 Enlightened Tiger Mom. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Just when Cang Nian thought he had made the tiger mother angry, the tiger mother showed a humane smile on her tiger face, and then gently pressed him with her paw, indicating that he should stay here and not move around. Then, the tiger mother trotted away, and soon returned here with the tiger brother in her mouth. Brother Tiger has grown so fast. In just 12 days, he has already weighed 10 kilograms. It is difficult for Mother Tiger to hold it in her mouth. Immediately, the tiger mother placed the confused tiger brother next to Cang Nian, and then took the lead and squeezed through the bushes where he often walked through, squeezing out a gap. Roar. After taking 2 steps, Tiger Mother turned around, growled, and shook her head. Writing this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. Then, the tiger mother lowered her body, walked through the bushes, and walked toward the distance. Is Tiger Mom going to take us out for a walk? After thinking over and over the tiger mother's series of actions in his mind, Cang Nian suddenly realized what he was doing, so, he trotted to keep up with the tiger mother. However, after running 2 steps, he turned around again and slapped Brother Tiger on the butt. Ding! Claw attack once, claw attack skill proficiency +1. 1/100. Ouch! Cang Nian imitated Tiger Mother's tone and growled, signaling Tiger Brother not to be lazy and to follow him quickly. Woo! Brother Tiger, who had been slapped again for no reason, whimpered aggrievedly, feeling that the pain from Cang Nian's beating was even more painful. As it grows, Cang Nian's claws do less and less damage to it, but now after a qualitative change, the claw strikes are very powerful. Even though the claw blade didn't pop out, Brother Tiger still grinned in pain. Precisely because of this, it did not dare to neglect it all, and quickly got up and crawled step by step behind Cang Nian's butt. Because Brother Tiger is a bit bigger, his stride is also longer. Therefore, Cang Nian didn't need to use too much speed so that Tiger Brother could keep up with him. The tiger mother did not ignore the 2 cubs, she just kept a distance of about 2 meters from them and led the way. In about half an hour, the mother and son passed through the bushes and jungles and came to an open space not covered by tall trees. On the edge of the open space, there was a clear stream passing through, making a clear tinkling sound. The creek is only 4 to 5 meters wide, and its depth is probably not very deep. The water flow is quite slow, and scattered animals can be seen drinking water around it. The most eye-catching thing is a group of elk, about 40 or 50 of them. One of them is particularly tall, and its huge horns look majestic. When Cang Nian saw the elk herd naturally discovered the existence of the tiger mother. The elk, who were still drinking water for a while, stood up and looked at the tiger mother warily, facing the queen of this jungle. Even the elk king does not dare to take it lightly. however, the huge number of the group prevented them from escaping immediately, but the tiger mother turned a blind eye to the vigilance of the elk herd. It is not hungry yet, is not here to hunt, and does not want to conflict with the elk herd. As the largest female tiger, the mother tiger weighs close to 200 kilograms, so she is not incapable of hunting such a big guy. However, she still has 2 cubs that she needs to nurse, and she doesn't want to risk getting hurt. Moreover, an adult male elk weighs more than 200 kilograms, and has more than 100 kilograms of clean meat. The tiger mother can't finish it in one meal. Now that the weather is getting hot, it can't be stored for too long even if it is placed in a pool. Hunting is cheaper. Predators, when the 2 cubs grow up, they will need a lot of nutrition. By then, the food intake of 3 adult tigers will be just enough to eat 1 elk, and they can be used as hunting targets for the mother and her son. Ouch! However, the next second, the tiger mother opened her big mouth, raised her head and roared. The astonishing roar of the tiger pierced the afternoon jungle, frightened the birds, and caused all the animals drinking water by the stream to flee. Even the huge herd of elk did not dare to stay under the breathtaking roar of the tiger, and immediately got into the dense forest. It's so majestic. Seeing tiger mothers roar shaking the mountains and forests, and the king of beasts looking like all the beasts retreating, the old man was filled with envy. However, this also made him feel quite happy. As long as I grow up healthily, I will definitely be able to do the same in the future. Moreover, he is a male tiger and has a system. When he grows up in the future, he will definitely be an unprecedented tiger king, and he will definitely be more majestic than the tiger mother. Ouch! Under the guidance of tiger mother, Cang Nian instinctively opened his mouth and screamed loudly, "Ding!" If you cry once, your skill proficiency in the cry skill will be +1. 46 out of 100, although the sound is still a little milky, it is an advanced skill after all. Compared with the initial milking sound, it is much louder and can be regarded as a bit of the power of a young beast king. Ouch! Brother Tiger on the side saw Tiger Mother and Cang Nian howling, so he felt that if he didn't howl, he would be a bit out of place, so he also howled lazily. Seeing this, Tiger Mother had a strange look on her face, and then shook her head. Immediately, it walked to a place shaded by trees, stretched out and lay down comfortably. Roar. Then, it looked at Cang Nian and Tiger Brother on the grass and growled. Tiger Mother was driving away other animals just now, and now she's letting us move around freely. Seeing this, Cang Nian suspiciously interpreted Tiger Mother's thoughts. Looking at the Tiger Mother again, although she was resting, her eyes were still open, and she had been following him and his Tiger Brother. Cang Nian was more certain of his guess. The Tiger Mother couldn't persuade him to go out to play, so she simply took the 2 brothers to this open space with a clear view and let them play freely. The tiger roar just now scared away other animals and eliminated most of the dangers from the source, and here, the clear view is clear, and the Tiger Mother can keep an eye on it at any time, which is a solid insurance for safety. Thinking of this, Cang Nian felt comfortable immediately. This open space is not big or small. There is no place covered by tall vegetation. It is about 300 meters long and 200 meters wide. The area of 60,000 square meters is about the same as some small primary and secondary school campuses. It is more than enough for 2 little ones who are only 12 days old to play. Snap! Ding! Claw strike once. Claw strike skill proficiency +1. 2/100. Thinking of this, Cang Nian slapped Tiger Brothers but with high spirits, and then ran freely on the grass. Tiger Brother had been trained for so long, so he naturally knew that Cang Nian was trying to get him moving, so he got up reluctantly and crawled behind Cang Nian. Ding! Jogging 1000 m, jogging skill proficiency +1. 2 out of 100. As time went by, a system prompt sounded in Cang Nian's mind. 1000 meters was a lot of exercise for a little tiger cub like him. At this moment, he was already out of breath, and hurried to Tiger Mother to drink milk. After a rest, Cang Nian continued to run out, persevering in self-disciplined exercise. When Cang Nian went to drink milk, Tiger Brother also drank a little, but he was too tired, so he stayed beside Tiger Mother and fell asleep. Paw. But the next second, it was hit on the buttocks by a claw. The Tiger Brother, awakened from his sleep, looked around and saw Cang Nian jogging on the grass. Strange, Tiger Brother was puzzled. Cang Nian was not beside him. Who beat him? But then, he felt a force pushing him from behind his buttocks. When he looked up, he saw Tiger Mom looking at him with a smile. Ouch. Tiger Brother wailed miserably. It would be fine if Cang Nian didn't let him rest, but why didn't Tiger Mom let him rest either? Chapter 18 Tiger Mom's Hunt. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The sun sets in the west. After exercising for an afternoon, Cang Nian and Tiger Brother returned to the cave along the original route at the call of Tiger Mother. Although the two brothers are in the growth stage now, sleeping outdoors will not be a problem, but a shelter from the wind and rain is a good place for them to improve their comfort. There is no need to suffer if they can be more comfortable. It's about the same as my plan. After unlocking the jogging skill, I can run about 3,000 meters a day and accumulate 3 levels of proficiency. If I go out at dawn tomorrow, I should be able to run 4,000 meters. On the way home, Cang Nian calculated his gains and was quite satisfied. Every drop of sweat will not be wasted. However, the tiger does not seem to sweat, so when Cang Nian is too hot while jogging, he can only open his mouth to dissipate heat, and Tiger Brother on the side is exhausted, because today, not only Cang Nian will rush it to exercise, but even Tiger Mother is urging it. In addition to the necessary drinking milk, excretion, and rest, it is impossible for it to be lazy. The reason why Tiger Mom did this was, on the one hand, because of Cang Nian's influence. She felt that since Cang Nian was so self-disciplined, Tiger Brother couldn't fall behind. In addition, there was another reason, which was Tiger Brother himself. Tiger Mom finally discovered that Tiger Brother's growth rate was too amazing. Although Tiger Mom couldn't remember how fast she grew when she was a child, Tiger Brother's growth rate was too incredible. It was only 12 days old, and it was almost 10 kilograms. Tiger Mom was shaking it with her mouth. Moreover, this cub was not only able to eat and grow, but also very lazy. If this continues, he might become fat like a ball in the future, unable to hunt, and starve himself to death. Therefore, Tiger Mom was very supportive of Cang Nian urging Tiger Brother to exercise. 13th day after birth, without Cang Nian's pleading, Tiger Mom took Cang Nian and Tiger Brother out early in the morning and walked towards the vast open space again. This time, the herd of elk that drank water by the stream yesterday was gone, but there was a group of sika deer. Unlike yesterday, Tiger Mom did not rush out of the dense forest this time, but gently pressed her claws on the heads of Cang Nian and Tiger Brother, signaling them not to move. Then, Tiger Mom crouched down, and under the cover of the dense forest, she approached the stream step by step. With every step, the muscles under Tiger Mom's gorgeous fur moved slowly, and the ground touched by her paw pads, even though it was full of humus layers of fallen leaves, did not make any extra movement, as if the mute button was pressed. Seeing this, Cang Nian's eyes suddenly lit up. Tiger Mom is going to hunt. Counting the days, it has been almost 4 days since Tiger Mom last ate a silly roe deer, only more than 20 kilograms of pure meat. Even if Tiger Mom does not need to feed the cubs, it can only last for a week at most. And now, Tiger Brother and I have to drink milk once after exercising for a while, at least 8 times a day, up to 12 times a day, which consumes a lot of nutrition for Tiger Mom. Not to mention, the brother's growth rate is much faster than that of ordinary tiger cubs, which consumes more energy from the tiger mother. Therefore, it is estimated that the nutrients that the tiger mother had eaten before have been almost consumed. It is wise to eat as soon as possible before starving. It will be too late to try hunting when you are really hungry. Looking at the tiger brother who was ready to move, Cang Nian hurriedly pressed his claws on its mouth. The tiger brother is not stupid, and he can see that the tiger mother is going to hunt, but he is still a child, and he is excited to shake his tail. Cang Nian is afraid that it will be too excited and make a noise, which will interfere with the tiger mother's hunting. Being pressed by Cang Nian, the tiger brother is puzzled, but under the majesty of Cang Nian, he can only lie down obediently. It's good that he didn't get beaten. At the same time, the tiger mother has patiently lurked 100 meters away from the stream. At this time, the sika deer have not yet noticed the approaching danger. However, the tiger mother did not think of getting angry, but slowed down and continued to approach. After all, the closer you get in the lurking phase, the shorter the distance you need to chase in the sprint phase, and the higher the probability of successful hunting. Step by step, Tiger Mom is only 30 meters away from the nearest Sika deer. Tiger Mom has begun to adjust her breathing and is ready to start at any time. At this distance, she is already 70% sure that the hunt will be successful. Whoosh! However, at this moment, an extremely agile figure suddenly burst out from the flank of the Sika deer herd and pounced on an adult female Sika deer. Thump thump thump, such a sudden movement made the entire Sika deer herd boil. They hurriedly fled and went directly into the deep jungle on the other side of the stream. And Tiger Mom was slowed down by this scene. She was stunned for a second before bursting out and rushing towards her original goal. However, a second slow is enough to open up a distance of dozens of meters for a creature like Sika deer that is proficient in sprinting. The tiger mother ran and chased with all her might, but she still lacked endurance. After chasing for 300 meters, her speed slowed down and she couldn't catch up with the prey. She had originally wanted to show her hunting skills in front of the two cubs, so that the two little ones could see how powerful their mother was. As a result, because of that uninvited guest, she wasted her time and energy in vain. The tiger mother was immediately furious, and a tiger roar shook the whole jungle. Then, she looked around with her tiger eyes, and then her eyes lit up. Not far away, a big cat with circles and spots all over its body and shiny fur was biting the neck of a hornless Sika deer, and the Sika deer was still struggling on its 4 hooves. Seeing this, the tiger mother was in a very happy mood, taking elegant cat steps and walking leisurely towards the big cat. The big cat, on the other hand, was alert and fearful, dragging the Sika deer that was not dead yet, but after dragging 2 steps, its eyes became clear. Then, it let go of the Sika deer in annoyance and fled in the opposite direction of the tiger mother. The Sika deer stood up immediately under the instinct of survival, but was just knocked down by the big cat, and was bitten on the throat and shocked. It couldn't accelerate explosively, and was instantly knocked down by the tiger mother who was well prepared. Snap! As an adult tiger, the tiger mother's bite force is much more amazing. It easily bit off the throat of the prey, causing it to die without much pain. Although the hunt was unsuccessful, she was lucky enough to snatch a prey. The tiger mother was in a very happy mood. She dragged the prey and walked towards the hiding place of Cang Nian and tiger brother. Hunting ability is a skill for survival, and so is the ability to rob. As a tiger, in this jungle, except for adult brown bears, other predators can only obediently offer their prey. It is the queen of this jungle. Seeing that the tiger mother hunted successfully, Cang Nian and tiger brother hurried out to greet her. At the same time, in the gap between the bushes on the other side, a pair of eyes watched this scene quietly. Chapter 19 Angry Tiger Brother. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Arriving in front of tiger mother, Cang Nian rubbed her cheeks with tiger mother, expressed his praise for tiger mother's successful hunting, and then led tiger brother to become self-disciplined. Although the tiger mother failed to hunt the prey with her own hands, it was because of the interference of the leopard. Otherwise, with her rich hunting experience, the tiger mother would not have missed the prey if she lurked at such a close distance. According to Cang Nian's understanding of the surrounding environment in the past 2 days, if he is still on the earth in this life, it is almost certain that this place should be in the snow ridge in the northeast of the Dragon Kingdom. In this case, that leopard should be a subspecies of the leopard family that is even rarer than the national treasure panda. The Amur leopard, also known as the Siberian leopard. After seeing the tiger mother's heroic hunting performance with his own eyes, Cang Nian became even more eager to become stronger as soon as possible. I wish I could hunt so handsomely. Cang Nian was jogging and thinking enviously. The more he thought about it, the stronger Cang Nian's enthusiasm for training became. With the existence of a system, every effort I make will not be let down. Maybe I can easily hunt like a tiger mother without having to wait until adulthood. The tiger mother on the side was devouring the carcass of the Sika deer in the shade of the tree. This Sika deer is a female deer, weighing about 70 kilograms. After all, with the size of the Amur leopard, it is difficult to hunt an adult male Sika deer weighing more than 100 kilograms. However, such prey is just right for a tiger mother. With a weight of 70 kilograms and a net meat content of about 40 kilograms, the tiger mother can have a full meal and can last longer than the silly roe deer. That weighed only 40 kilograms. However, looking at old Nian who was exercising and brother tiger who was lagging behind and wanting to be lazy but not daring to do so, mother tiger felt that she might not be able to hold on for much longer. After all, Cang Nian and brother who are growing up too fast, one day at a time. Growth requires a price, and that price is nutrition. Now, Cang Nian and tiger brother can only absorb nutrients from tiger mother's tiger milk. Therefore, how long tiger mother can last after eating depends entirely on how much Cang Nian and tiger brother eat. As their bodies grow, Cang Nian and tiger brother's appetite will only increase, but after worrying for a while, the tiger mother stopped worrying. Now the two cubs can walk freely. The faster the growth rate means that the consumption will increase, and it also means that they will have the ability to protect themselves sooner. For example, now, the two brothers who should be crawling around slowly in the nest and sleeping most of the day can now follow it around and carry it around without making a fuss. They can even take it with them for hunting. Take protection with you. Maybe the two cubs will be able to hunt on their own soon, and it won't be too difficult to raise them by themselves. The tiger mother thought very optimistically, and then she swallowed a mouthful of venison leg meat, feeling extremely satisfied. Ding. Jog 1000 m, jogging skill proficiency +1. 4/100. Ha, ha. Now that I'm familiar with this jogging rhythm, my speed seems to be much faster. This 1000 meters should only take 2 hours. Listening to the system prompts in his mind, Cang Nian thought happily. It would be June now, approaching the summer solstice, and the weather is getting hotter, but equally, the days are getting longer. Now, from when the sun rises to when it sets, there are almost 16 hours. Excluding eating, drinking and taking necessary rest, there are almost 12 hours a day that can be used for exercise. If you accumulate 1 level of proficiency in 2 hours, you can accumulate 6 levels in 1 day. The higher the proficiency, the faster the speed. In that case, it may take half a month to accumulate 100 levels, which changes the quality of jogging skills. Cang Nian thought very optimistically. Soon, the time came to noon, the sun was high and the weather was hot. Even if the old man wanted to run again, his young body could not bear the torment, so he could only take brother tiger to the shade of the tree next to mother tiger. Resting with tongue sticking out. I have accumulated more than 2 layers in the morning, and I am still a little short of the third 1000 meters. I will work hard in the afternoon and I must complete the 6 layers planned for today. That while resting, Cang Nian was thinking. At this time, brother tiger was so tired that he lay down under the shade of a tree and fell asleep. Snap. But just when brother tiger was taking a sweet nap, he was suddenly awakened. This made him excited. He quickly raised his head and looked around. He found that he was neither close to Cang Nian nor tiger mother, and he was puzzled. It wasn't my mother and brother who fought. What is that? Brother tiger looked down and saw an exploded pine cone next to his paw, so he looked up. I saw an unknown little thing pulling at the pine cone with its little paws on a branch 4 or 5 meters away. However, brother tiger has never seen many animals. Apart from tiger mother's prey, he has only seen birds and insects that can be seen everywhere. But when he saw the culprit who disturbed his nap, brother tiger suddenly became angry, so he lowered his body, raised his head, and screamed loudly. Although it is not as loud as Cang Nian, who has advanced his howling skills once, tiger brother is bigger in size after all, and his chest is quite powerful, so his howling is quite powerful. What's wrong with brother tiger? That this movement immediately attracted Cang Nian, who was still resting. Brother tiger rarely screams loudly, except when he is beaten. Looking at the angry brother tiger, Cang Nian followed its gaze upwards and finally found the object of brother tiger's howling under the pine cover. This seems to be a sable, right? Looking at the little thing with a slender body and smooth fur, Cang Nian thought suspiciously. Like the Siberian tiger, this little thing is also a national first-level protected animal and is quite rare. It seems that the natural environment of this jungle is really good. There are Siberian tigers, Siberian leopards, and sables. Cang Nian sighed in his heart. However, looking at the size of the opponent, the body length is probably only a dozen centimeters, so he is undoubtedly still a minor. It is no wonder that he can only do what squirrels do, collect pine cones on pine trees and eat pine nuts, because adult sables feed on squirrels and small birds. At this time, the sable on the tree seemed to have noticed the tiger brother who was howling at him under the shade of the tree. A pair of small soybean eyes cast his gaze from the tree, curious and puzzled. Seeing this, the tiger brother thought that the other party was provoking him, and became even more angry. He was so angry that he could only crawl slowly, then trotted 2 steps and came to the pine tree where the sable was, and put his 2 front paws on the rough bark of the pine tree. To go up, you have to climb up. However, Brother Tiger's limbs were not strong enough, and he was too fat. As soon as he climbed up to the height of 1 paw, he lay sprawled on the ground. Gigi. Seeing this, the sable on the tree suddenly squeaked happily, making Brother Tiger even more angry. At this time, Cang Nian, who was watching the battle on the side, suddenly lit up. Chapter 20 Tiger Mom's Tree Climbing Demonstration. You are listening at novelfull.audio. That's right. Why did I forget to climb the tree? This is the best way to protect yourself before you have strong combat power. Cang Nian patted his head with his paw and sighed secretly. Climbing trees is a relatively common ability in nature, but it is also the best way for many animals to protect themselves from predators. For example, many fables and jokes include examples of climbing trees when encountering a bear. Although the actual situation of encountering a bear is that there is a high probability that a person cannot climb a bear. When climbing a tree, and bears are good tree climbers, however, if you can really surpass a bear in climbing a tree, then it is indeed possible to protect yourself. After all, people who can climb trees generally weigh much less than bears. If they climb onto a branch of suitable thickness, the bear will not dare to climb up. If the stalemate lasts long enough, and the bear loses patience or waits for someone else to rescue him, then he can still survive. Possible. The same goes for Cang Nian's expectations for tree climbing skills. His target does not need to be able to climb trees. As long as he cannot climb as fast as him and weighs much more than himself, then if he steps on a branch that is thin but can support him, the other party will not dare to catch him unless the other party can fight together and risk falling from the tall tree. Therefore, tree climbing is undoubtedly a very practical skill. Thinking like this, Cang Nian felt that he was almost rested, so he walked briskly to Brother Hu. Seeing his brother coming, Brother Tiger quickly pointed his paw at the sable on the tree, humming in his mouth, as if he was accusing the other person. In response, Cang Nian could only pat Brother Tiger on the head with his paw, telling him to calm down. Then, Cang Nian put his 2 front paws on the straight trunk of the pine tree and felt the grip. Then, his front paws climbed up step by step, and his back paws lifted off the ground, but subconsciously he spread his legs apart, leaving the paw pads hanging in the air. After trying twice, he found that he couldn't move up like this. Immediately, he jumped down again. No, I have to change human beings' inertial thinking. The way humans climb trees is not suitable for the tiger's body structure. After the first failure, Cang Nian quickly concluded the reason for his failure. In his previous life, he had climbed trees as a child. However, due to the human body structure, climbing trees involves clamping the trunk with both legs, loosening and climbing up in coordination with the hands and feet. But tigers are different. Tigers don't have the flexible legs of humans, and they don't have particularly strong adductor muscles. They can't do the leg clamping action. This action can only get the eggs stuck in the tiger's body. But how does a tiger climb a tree? Cang Nian had a headache and tried to recall whether there were any clips of tigers climbing trees in the documentaries he had watched in his previous life. Roar. At this time, a low roar came from behind the 2 brothers. Turning around, I saw Tiger Mother walking towards here gracefully. Then, without any warning, the Tiger Mother rushed forward in 2 steps, and in the blink of an eye, she ran up to a height of 4 or 5 meters in the pine tree, and stopped in front of the little sable. This move shocked Cang Nian and made Brother Hu shake his head happily. As for the little sable, it was trembling with fear. Done. I provoked the little guy and called the parents. Squeak. My life is at an end. The little sable felt as if it had fallen into an ice cellar, and did not dare to move. However, what he didn't expect was that the Tiger Mother, whose tiger face was already on its head, didn't do anything to it. She just twitched the tip of her nose twice, then showed an expression of disgust. then turned around and fell lightly from the tree, squeak. Seeing this, the little sable's whole body went limp and almost fell off the tree. It quickly hugged the branches with lingering fear. Fortunately, I smell bad, otherwise I would be dead today. Roar. Tiger Mother, who landed smoothly, roared under the adoring gazes of Cang Nian and Tiger Brother, raised her head, and signaled for the brothers to try it too. Seeing that Cang Nian likes to exercise so much, the Tiger Mother also wanted to teach various skills, so she performed hunting in front of the two little ones. Now she saw the two little ones trying to climb a tree but couldn't do it, so she came over to demonstrate. As for the little sable, it's such a little thing, it doesn't have a few ounces of meat and it still smells bad, so it's not on its diet. Moreover, it has just eaten, so it is not so hungry. Besides, Big Zai Zai is very lazy. For the first time, he is thinking hard about what to do because of his anger. He cannot kill his motivation to fight. Keep it for the big sable to play with until it can climb the tree and catch the little sable. Then it will kill or eat it, whatever it is. This is what a Tiger Mother thinks. Here, Cang Nian was recalling the posture of Tiger Mother when she climbed the tree. That's it. Tigers are digitate animals, and their claws can bend at large angles. Therefore, when a tiger climbs a tree, all four claws are attached to the trunk, just like walking on the trunk. Cang Nian suddenly realized, with the standard demonstration, Cang Nian couldn't wait to try climbing a tree using standard movements. So he imitated the Tiger Mother's movements, trotted towards the tree trunk, jumped on the tree trunk with a vertical leap. Ding! Jump once, jump skill proficiency +1. 1/100. At this moment, a system prompt sounded, causing Cang Nian to lose his balance and fall from the tree trunk. Fortunately, the height of his jump was not high, and it didn't hurt much if he fell. Unexpectedly, I never thought about training my jumping ability before, but that's the case. Before I unlocked the jogging skill, my limb strength did not support jumping at all. Cang Nian shook his head and shook off the fallen weeds and leaves stuck to his hair, then adjusted his condition and continued to try. Then, he took a running approach and jumped again. Ding! Jump once, jump skill proficiency +1. 2/100. This time, he was not disturbed by the system beep. His four claws instinctively popped out the claw blades and firmly fixed himself on the tree trunk. Feeling the solid figure, Cang Nian took a deep breath, then boldly released his right front paw, climbed up a step, and then quickly fixed it with the claw blade. Okay. Keep going. That it was still very stable after climbing, and Cang Nian became more confident. Then he followed the tiger's walking habit, raised his left hind paw, climbed up a step, and then quickly fixed it with the claw blade. Left front paw, right rear paw, right front paw, left rear paw, step after step, Cang Nian climbed more and more steadily, became more courageous, let go of his restraint, and climbed faster step by step. Ding! Climb 1M, climbing skill proficiency +1. 1/100. After crawling for a while, a system prompt sounded, which made Cang Nian couldn't help but smile. Sure enough, climbing trees can also be regarded as a skill, and it seems that it is not difficult to master this skill. Seeing this, Cang Nian was overjoyed. Compared with the jogging skill, which is still difficult to change qualitatively, it seems that the jumping skill just acquired and the current climbing skill are more cost-effective. Cang Nian was calculating in his mind. Ouch! At this time, an excited roar came from below. Cang Nian looked down and saw that Brother Tiger was showing off his power to the little sable. It seems to say, "Look! My brother is here to catch you."